The year is 1987. It's spring going into summer. Uh, was
On the
like
heels of Texas Stadium.
Hulkamania is running wild. I always love to say that, brother, because it was. No,
Still
it
is.
was. It was. So um, I don't know much about this, but I remember hearing about it. That so
I
Fritz
remember when it happened.
Fritz rehired Dad as the booker.
Actually, no, it was a little bit different than that.
Oh, okay. Well, Dad. Okay. Well, here. So Dad took the booking job back after Texas Stadium
It was during
'87.
Texas Stadium '87.
Okay. So, what's is there any truth in, or what? I had heard that originally Dad was getting, when he took the booking job back.
Fritz was basically saying, if you want, you're taking that. He told Dad basically he was in a luxury box at Old Texas Stadium. The house was down, and he said, "I'm tired of running a nonprofit organization."
Yeah. So
Fritz was basically telling Dad. He told Dad, he goes, "You're taking the job. You have no say about it. Come out to the house next week and negotiate percentage." Basically, Fritz was telling Dad, "You better take the job if you want to have a job, because I've had it with this."
So, what about? I've heard that Dad's original plan was at the time that when he got the job back, he wanted to build around the Dingo
He was going to be
Warrior.
the third Von Erich.
He wanted it. So, can you talk on that
Yes.
a little bit? Because I don't know much.
The plan was the plan was.
It ended up he built around Perez and the
Al,
Simpsons.
well, Al was coming in
Okay,
anyway.
sorry.
Dad was trying to, and by the time we got to 1987, a lot of bad things had happened. It's been well documented how the business had fallen here. So really, the only thing that we had left was Dad and Kevin, and Kerry was still laid up on the shelf. The injury to Kerry really, really, really hurt us, really bad, and everything else that had happened with Mike and Gino, it was just, and then with the other booking tenure, it was just too much. And Al Perez was coming in. Came in from Puerto Rico. Kevin was still Kevin, and Brian Adidas was here, and Kerry was on the comeback, but he was on the mend. The Dingo Warrior, the plan was really, it was going to be either Kevin or Kerry was going to be down, and some heel tag team was going to be beating on him. And the
So
Dingo,
this was supposed to be in a match.
Yes, and the Dingo was going to, throw himself over top, because Dingo had already turned babyface, but he was going to be the de facto third Von Erich.
So I know how Dad thinks. So there was going to be some match where either Kerry or Kevin was like getting brutally beat down, and then the Dingo Warrior was going to come in and like save one of them and like cover them with his body.
Yes, and then then there was one other twist to the plan that we never got to see, and this was also going to be very intricate, not just for Al Perez, but there was going to be somebody who was going to switch heel in '87.
Who?
Dad was going to switch Bruiser Brody heel.
Oh, interesting.
To work against the Dingo, and Dad was going to manage Bruce again.
Oh,
because
interesting.
You had to have somebody that could legitimately, that looked like they could legitimately fight
hang with the Warrior,
the Dingo. Because that was also a problem here with Kerry and Kevin. Other than Al Perez, the other guys that we had around here at the time, no one really, with the exception of Al Perez and Brian Adidas, there weren't a stable of heels around at that time in '87 that people really believed, other than Brian and Al, that could fight Kevin and Kerry.
Right.
So you're going to have the same problem with the Dingo. And no one wanted to see Bruce work against Kevin or Kerry. They had seen that when they were younger.
Right.
And Bruce was already a pretty resident babyface here. But if you turn him against the Dingo, then you had something. Because Dad had told me that his plan got really derailed once Vince pulled the Dingo out of here.
Yeah, kind of killed it.
And in all honesty, if Dad would have been able to make Dingo a little bit more money, he would have tried to hold on to him, because Dingo came to Dad right when Dad took the booking job, and he goes, "I just got off the phone with Vince." And Dad said, "Well, what did he say?" He goes, "He said he wants to go all the way with me." Dad goes, "What does that mean?" He goes, "He wants me for Hulk Hogan's job." And Dad said, "Then, my boy, I suggest you take it." And then Pat Patterson called and said, because Dad was originally, there's another part of the story. Dad had said to Dingo, he goes, "Ding, bless you, I'm going to let you go. I don't want to hold you back." But Dad had got him booked in Japan to go to Japan, where he was going to make $7,000 a week. He'd never seen that much money in his life. We're going to bring him in. They were going to give him what later became the big Van Vader helmet, because Dingo was a freak in America. Imagine him in Japan.
Dingo was going to have the Van Vader helmet.
He was going to have, they built that for him. So he was going to go over there.
That would have not fit him.
But they were going to pay him a truckload of money. And Dad, Pat Patterson, goes, "We're taking him." And Dad said, "Well, I want him to go. You're going to make a fortune with him. He's got more charisma. I've never seen anything like it. He's going to make a lot of money. But can you please let him go to Japan first, because that's going to cause me a lot of problems if you don't. He goes, no, we're taking him. That was going to end up causing Dad a lot of problems, because it was going to cause heat with Inoki. And Pat knew that Pat was very smart. He knew that if Inoki had Ding, he could make him so much money that he would maybe turn down Vince's offer. Pat said, we don't want him having any contact with Inoki. They want banana. So he told him, I don't want you talking. Banana, that's what he used to say. The office went banana.
Oh, okay.
Bananas, for those who don't speak a French Canadian dialect. So that was the end of that. And Dad just hugged him. He said, only talk to Vince about your business. Don't ride in cars with other wrestlers, and never no-show. He was really good at 2 out of the 3 of those things.
Yeah. And I just want to end with the fact that they said they were going to replace Hogan with Dingo. And I think Hulk said he hated to be the one to tell you I told you so, but he didn't replace Hogan.
No, I've always been tremendously.
Couldn't, brother.
I've always been, and so is Dad, we've always been tremendously proud of Dingo. I always looked at him as one of our guys. So when he beat Hulk, even though it was a work, it was a shoot for us. Yeah, but I love Hogan too.
But he couldn't, he never became Hulk Hogan. I just want to put that in there, brother.